Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. Your body is running a sophisticated mathematical program right now, and you didn't even know it. Inside your cells, a remarkable gene called FOXP3 is performing complex calculations that keep you alive. Today, we're diving into how this master controller orchestrates your immune system, why the way you breathe matters more than you think, and what this means for your health. Get ready to understand your body in a whole new way.
You know, what's fascinating is that this isn't just some random biological process. The FOXP3 gene sits on the X chromosome at a very specific location, XP11, 23, and it's absolutely crucial for our survival.
Wait, so this one gene is that important?
Absolutely. FOXP3 is what we call a master transcription factor. It's essential for developing and maintaining regulatory T cells, basically the peacekeepers of your immune system.
Peacekeepers? How so?
Well, these regulatory T cells prevent your immune system from attacking your own body. Without them, you'd develop severe autoimmune diseases. And here's what's incredible. This process follows precise mathematical patterns.
Mathematical patterns in our genes? That sounds pretty wild.
It is. According to recent research, FOXP3 activation follows specific energy patterns. We're talking about exact quantum energy levels, around 0.98 electron volts.
Hold on, you're saying our genes operate on quantum energy levels?
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. This activation is tied to how we breathe.
Our breathing affects our genes? How does that work?
So when you breathe through your nose, it creates what's called a diploid breathing pattern. This pattern actually helps synchronize both hemispheres of your brain and promotes FOXP3 activation.
That's fascinating. So nose breathing is better than mouth breathing?
According to the research, yes. Nasal breathing creates a balanced state, what's called a 0.5 left plus 0.5 right equals 1 pattern. This balance is crucial for proper immune function.
You know, speaking of immune function, I heard something about a Nobel Prize related to this.
Yes. The 2025 Nobel Prize in Medicine was actually awarded to 3 scientists, Brunkow, Ramsdell, and Sakaguchi, for their discoveries about immune tolerance.
What exactly did they discover?
They uncovered how regulatory T cells maintain tolerance in our immune system. Their work was crucial in understanding how FOXP3 prevents autoimmune diseases.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty. How exactly does this process work in our cells?
Well, it starts at what's called the tracheal bifurcation, where your windpipe splits. When you breathe, it creates specific energy patterns that affect oxygen molecules.
Energy patterns in oxygen molecules?
Right. The oxygen transitions from what we call triplet oxygen to singlet oxygen, releasing specific wavelengths of infrared light, about 1.26 micrometers to be exact.
And this light affects our cells somehow?
Exactly. This infrared light is absorbed by mitochondrial DNA, which then sends signals to activate FOXP3 in the cell nucleus.
It's like a cellular chain reaction.
Precisely. And what's remarkable is how mathematically precise this process is. It follows what's called modular arithmetic, specifically a mod 4 pattern.
Okay, you lost me there. What's mod 4?
Think of it like a clock that only goes up to 4 instead of 12. The system uses this pattern to control when FOXP3 gets activated.
And this all happens automatically in our bodies?
Yes, but, and this is crucial, how we breathe can either support or hinder this process.
Tell me more about that.
When we breathe through our nose, it creates what's called a diploid state. Both sides of our brain are engaged. This promotes FOXP3 activation and immune tolerance.
And mouth breathing?
Mouth breathing creates a haploid state. Only half the system is engaged. This can actually reduce FOXP3 activation and promote inflammation.
That's incredible. Our breathing pattern directly affects our genes.
And it gets even more interesting when we look at the energy involved. The system operates at very specific energy levels, around 0.316 electron volts, which is exactly what's needed for ATP production in cells.
ATP, that's the energy currency of our cells, right?
Exactly. Everything in this system is precisely tuned to work at these specific energy levels.
It's amazing how organized this all is.
And what's really fascinating is how this connects to the X chromosome structure. The X chromosome actually operates as a bilateral symmetry register.
What does that mean?
It means it contains paired genomic curvature lines that mirror the body's left-right field balance. It's like a biological symmetry calculator.
This is getting pretty deep. Let's break it down for our listeners. What does this mean for everyday health?
Well, the practical takeaway is that how we breathe matters enormously. Nasal breathing promotes immune tolerance and healing, while mouth breathing can increase inflammation.
So something as simple as breathing through our nose can affect our immune system?
Absolutely. Each nasal breath reinforces immune tolerance and regenerative potential. It's like programming your genes for better health.
That's powerful information. What else can people do to support this system?
The key is consistency in nasal breathing. This helps maintain what's called field coherence, basically keeping your immune system in balance.
And this all comes back to FOXP3?
Yes, FOXP3 is like the conductor of this immune symphony. When it's properly activated, it helps maintain peace in your immune system.
You mentioned inflammation earlier. How does that fit in?
When FOXP3 is working properly, it helps reduce inflammation by promoting regulatory T cells. These cells help maintain what's called immune tolerance.
And this is all controlled by mathematical patterns?
Exactly. The whole system follows precise mathematical rules, from the energy levels involved to the timing of gene activation.
It's amazing how our bodies use mathematics without us even knowing it.
And that's what makes this field so exciting. We're discovering that our bodies are running incredibly sophisticated computations at every moment.
This really changes how we think about breathing and immune health.
It does. And remember, this isn't just theory. This understanding earned a Nobel Prize in 2025.
Speaking of which, how has this knowledge changed medical treatment?
Well, it's led to better understanding of autoimmune diseases and potentially new treatments that target FOXP3 activation.
This is fascinating stuff. Any final thoughts?
Yes, remember that every breath you take through your nose is literally programming your genes for better health. It's that powerful.
Well, there you have it, folks. Your body is running an incredible mathematical program, and something as simple as how you breathe can influence it. Thanks for joining us on Copilot Podcasts, where we've learned that every breath counts, literally.